12 News, breaking news.
And we welcome you back to 12 News this morning. I'm Felicia Rolfe.
And I'm Britton Rucker. This morning we are following breaking news after a flight that departed from Wichita crashed in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, it happened last night. Let's get over to our 12 News reporter Max Dutton, who joins us live from Eisenhower National Airport this morning on the latest of the crash.
Yeah, Felicia, this is exactly where American Airlines Flight 5342 took off yesterday as they were headed towards Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. Now, at the time of that crash, there are 60 passengers, 2 flight attendants, and 2 pilots on board as they collided with that military helicopter shortly before landing in D.C. Take a look at your screen. We do have footage from the scene shortly after this happened while the aircraft crashed in the Potomac River. Overnight, rescuers confirmed they recovered 19 bodies from the river and have not found any survivors this morning. Among those on the plane were members of U.S. figure skating. They'd been competing in Wichita all week long. This morning, Eisenhower Airport is providing support to families who are waiting to hear the status of their loved ones. Wichita Mayor Lily Wu says American Airlines reached out to her shortly after the crash. Here's what she had to say last night.
American Airlines did give me a call today informing me of the incident that happened with one of our Wichita to Washington, D.C. flights. We are waiting for further information that is confirmed. At this time, as a council, we really want to ask each and every Wichitan, Kansan, and American to pray for everyone involved in this incident, whether involved in the incident in D.C. or those who are helping with the rescue efforts.
And we expect to learn a lot more later this morning at 8 o'clock. There's a press briefing at City Hall. That's where we'll hear from Wichita's Mayor Lily Wu. We'll also kind of find out exactly what happened, hopefully, as to what the plan is moving forward. At noon at City Hall, there's going to be a prayer vigil hosted by the Greater Wichita Ministerial League. Guys.
We sure appreciate it, Max. Thank you. Well, U.S. Figure Skating put out a statement regarding the crash, saying in part, "We are devastated by this unspeakable tragedy and hold the victims' families closely in our hearts." A source told Reuters as many as 15 people on the flight were involved in figure skating. Again, officials have not said how many people died in the accident, but suggest there may be no survivors.
Today, there will be no flights to or from D.C. at Eisenhower National Airport. We checked with Eisenhower this morning, and they say American Flight 5499 is canceled. It was set to arrive in Wichita at 4:45 this afternoon. Meanwhile, American Flight 5342 was set to leave Eisenhower at 5:18 p.m. That flight also canceled. Keep in mind, flight numbers stay the same from day to day.
We are awaiting 2 press conferences this morning where we expect to learn about the plane crash in Potomac. Now, the first one at 6:30 this morning, Washington's D.C. mayor will hold a briefing at that time. We will bring that to you live here on 12 News this morning, so in less than 30 minutes for that first press conference from Washington, D.C. Then at 8 o'clock, we will hear from local officials here in Wichita. They are holding a press conference at City Hall. We'll have that for you live as well, and we'll have that on the KSCW. That's Cable 5 over the air, channel 33. And we'll also stream it for you on our 12 News app. Make sure to download that if you don't have it yet. All right, we are turning now to our forecast for the day. Parts of Kansas waking up to a foggy morning.
And it comes as parts of Kansas could see some rain today. Let's go to meteorologist Jake Dunn, who explains what's in store.
Yeah, certainly fog. The big story as we move into your morning hours. I mean, this is the kind of fog where you could get lost in. That visibility near zero, and not just in a small area. We're talking a big part of the state under the advisory with visibilities currently less than a quarter of a mile. North of I-70, it's a little bit better, but anything south of I-70 is pretty much socked in right now. Now, we do have rain chances. It's a drizzle today, but tonight that last little bump comes in. It's still the same storm system. One little spoke of energy moves back through mainly central and eastern Kansas tonight, so we do get some additional rainfall. In fact, I'm going to put some rainfall totals from last night onto your Storm Team 12 weather app in just a moment. But for tonight, again, Salina, Hutch, Wichita, McPherson, Marion, El Dorado, a couple of passing showers, rain for northeast Kansas. This will be long gone by Friday morning, and it is going to be a beautiful forecast Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right now, cloudy, thick fog, and 41. Not going to see much change. The fog should lift around midday, but numbers are going to be stuck in the low 50s. Again, you're going to see some drizzle from time to time, but we'll save the rain chances for tonight.
Thank you, Jake. We appreciate it. A massive search and rescue underway in the Potomac following the crash.
Now, officials say first responders are searching for survivors in the river amid near freezing temperatures. Michael Yoshida reports that they are racing against the clock and hypothermia.
I saw the plane banking at an angle that a plane shouldn't bank, and I saw sparks flying.
A passenger plane carrying 64 people collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter midair over Washington late Wednesday night. American Airlines says PSA operated Flight 5342 from Wichita, Kansas, was trying to land at Reagan National Airport when the collision occurred. The airline says it had 60 passengers and 4 crew members on board when it went down in the Potomac River.
We are actively working with local, state, and federal authorities on emergency response efforts, and the American Airlines care team has been activated to assist our passengers and their families.
According to officials, the helicopter was on a training flight from Virginia. The National Weather Service says the river's nighttime temperature is likely about 35 degrees, and people can only survive in water that frigid for about 90 minutes.
The challenges are access. The water that we're operating in is about 8 feet deep. There is wind, there is pieces of ice out there, so it's just dangerous and hard to work in.
About 300 first responders are combing the Potomac for survivors.
I'm just praying that somebody's pulling her out of the river right now. She texted me that they were landing in 20 minutes. The rest of my text did not get delivered.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
The mayor of Washington, D.C. says 3 people were on the helicopter. American Airlines set up a hotline for families impacted by the crash. We do have that number for you there on the bottom of your screen. It is 800-679-8215. You can also find that number on the KWCH website. That's kwch.com, and the 12 News app. Now, Wichita's Eisenhower Airport says it is providing support to families on site this morning at the airport's media room.
Senator Jerry Moran among those who spoke at Reagan National Airport as federal and local officials provided updates on last night's deadly air crash. Moran says he's been on that flight many times and spoke on the impact this will have on Kansas.
So we have really a serious and sad circumstance that we want to be here to be helpful, and we're praying that our responders are safe and the folks who are on that flight are recovered. The circumstance I would describe is that I know that flight. I've flown it many times myself. I lobbied American Airlines to begin having a direct nonstop flight service to DCA. That flight has been in existence about a year. And it is certainly true that in Kansas and in Wichita in particular, we're going to know people who are on this flight, know their family members, know somebody. So this is a very personal circumstance as well as an official response.
Moran also discussed the coordinated recovery effort and how agencies and government officials were pulling together for the best possible outcome.
And Governor Kelly says that she's closely monitoring the crash at Reagan National Airport. She released this statement last night saying that she is in contact with authorities. She offered her thoughts to all involved and promised to share more information as it becomes available.
Here's a look at what we know this morning as we await more information on the emergency response in D.C. American Airlines Flight 5342 crashed into an Army helicopter last night while approaching the runway at Reagan National Airport. Now, both aircraft landed in the Potomac River. The plane had taken off from here in Wichita. 60 passengers, along with 2 pilots and 2 flight attendants, were on board. At last check, rescuers say they recovered at least 19 bodies and have not found any survivors.
Well, later this morning, we expect to learn more information from the city of Wichita about that crash in Washington, D.C. City leaders plan to hold a press conference at 8 o'clock this morning at City Hall. We'll carry that briefing live here on 12 News for you this morning. And if you're not at your TV, we'll also stream it for you on our 12 News app. And that's a free download, so make sure you get that right now. We'll also send you a push alert when that coverage begins.
Now, fog, the big story right now, but what's up next? We've got another chance of actual rain coming in tonight. It's a drizzle right now, but some rain showers tonight. We're 2 days away from some spring-like temperatures. It'll warm up tomorrow, but wow, we're really going to take off this weekend. Here's that advisory. And again, this is a big chunk of the state. In fact, now it's been expanded to include pretty much our entire viewing area. That's one kind of anomaly. The other one is it goes until noon. Often these advisories expire at 8, 9, 10 a.m. You start to build a little bit of wind in the afternoon and the fog mixes out, but it's going to be a pretty murky day. So that's the story today. That'll keep temperatures limited to the low 50s. Sunshine tomorrow. Look at that weekend, 62 and 63. Do we get used to that? No. Winter comes back next week. I've got all the changes on your 10-day forecast next.
And this morning 12 News is following that plane crash in D.C. This morning we are awaiting more information from national and local officials about the plane from Wichita that crashed into the Potomac River after a collision with a helicopter. Again, this is a live look in D.C. at the Potomac River where that plane crashed. We know 64 people were aboard that plane. So far, first responders confirmed 19 bodies. And so far, no survivors. Make sure to stick with us as we bring you the latest developments this morning.
You're watching 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW. Online at kwch.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Now, your accurate Storm Team 12 forecast.
6:13, pretty big weather worry now through noon. Fog, and it's across the entire state. And it will start to burn off this afternoon, but we're looking at cloudy conditions in the Wichita area, maybe a little bit of sunshine farther west. Another round of rain tonight, basically just some light showers. That's going to do it for the inclement weather. Things really turn around tomorrow, and we are in for a good-looking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can't see it, but we do have, again, some drizzle. I'll put this into motion, and every once in a while you can kind of see some patchy areas of light green. Again, drizzle moving through, hard time seeing it on your Doppler radar, and then of course we turn up the intensity and you can, but again, the bark is worse than the bite. Some rain and snow showers off to the north and west of us into northeast Colorado. So basically things are pretty quiet, and we're going to see again just that last spoke of energy come through tonight, and that's going to be it for a while. Low clouds and fog for, again, central and eastern Kansas. We're not going to see much change, but western Kansas you'll start to get a little bit of sunshine, again drizzle at times, but overall a little bit cooler today. But then we move into tonight, so we're going to have that last piece of energy move through Salina, Hutch, Wichita, some rain showers. So again, 1/10 of an inch of rain or less. Actual rainfall though up towards northeast Kansas, and again a lot of you out west and even central Kansas are going to be staying dry. Now winds are going to be incredibly light today. They will start to pick up though tomorrow. We're going to be a breezy, not just Friday, Saturday as well, but these are warm winds, so our numbers will be going up. But tomorrow morning, teens and 20s when you get started for your feels like temperature. So a chilly Friday morning, but then a lot of sunshine, a very mild afternoon, but as mentioned, breezy. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s in the metro. But how about western Kansas? Already getting back up to around 60 degrees. We just go higher this weekend. Again, think spring. We're looking at a breezy Saturday, but Sunday the winds relax. It's going to be even warmer with numbers mostly in the 60s. We could even see 70 out in southwest Kansas. But by Monday into Tuesday, here comes our next cool down. No rain or snow expected with this, but we are in for some colder numbers next week. Fog, again, here is the Union Station sky camera looking north and west. Can't even see the epicenter. That's how low visibility is. 41 degrees, light south wind, and again, fog thick this morning and some drizzle. Otherwise cloudy and 52 this afternoon. Numbers going up nicely. I think Sunday's the pick day because, again, we don't really have any wind to deal with. We aren't going to go too cold, but certainly some cooler conditions, especially by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
From 12 News, breaking news.
Breaking news just into our newsroom from Washington, D.C. CBS News just confirmed 30 bodies have been recovered from the Potomac River after a plane that left Wichita crashed.
Yeah, American Airlines Flight 5342 collided with an Army helicopter last night as it approached the runway at Reagan National Airport. We have a live look for you right now at the river right now as they continue to search for survivors. We know 64 people were on board the plane. First responders have not found any survivors just yet. Now, overnight, U.S. figure skating confirmed skaters who competed here in Wichita last week were on board that flight. We'll learn more about the crash and also recovery efforts during a press conference at 8 o'clock this morning with city leaders here in Wichita. That's at City Hall. We'll bring that to you live on 12 News this morning on the KSCW. That's Cable 5, over the air, Channel 33.
All right, switching gears now. Today is your chance to hear more about the Wichita School District's $450 million bond issue on the February ballot.
The district hosting the first of 9 open houses tonight at 5 at Seltzer Elementary. There you can ask questions about the bond issue. Its main projects include infrastructure, safety upgrades, new and renovated classrooms, and the building of a new future-ready center for career training.
A hearing is set for U.S. Navy sailor charged with the death of a Wichita sailor in Yorktown, Virginia. The sailor has been charged with negligent homicide and the death of 22-year-old Master at Arms 3rd Class Joel Cosgriff Flax, who was killed in a boating accident in April last year. The hearing will begin today at 1 o'clock. Officials say the sailor will remain unnamed until charges have been referred. He also faces charges of making a false official statement and 2 counts of dereliction of duty.
2 traffic alerts for you today. The intersection of 29th Street North and Hydraulic Avenue closed. This closure also includes the 29th Street North ramp to I-135 South. KDOT says the closure necessary for girder erection operations. Repairs expected to take about 60 days. And starting tomorrow, the inside lane of westbound K96 closed. KDOT says the lane is closing so crews can move materials into the median for that North Junction project. Now that closure is supposed to start about 9 in the morning. January 31st, again, that is tomorrow, and should be done by 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Time now to hand out some birthday wishes this morning. Happy birthday to Steve Burt Jr. Your parents say you're a wonderful son and you do everything they ask of you.
A happy birthday to Alex Nelson, who just officially became a teenager. And as you can see, Alex is a competitive dancer. Here's something sure to put a little extra groove in your step too, Alex. You're the winner of a 12 News This Morning coffee mug provided by McPherson Dental.
6:44 on this Thursday morning. Dense fog around the state, including Wichita. A couple of looks here. Heart of town, I-135 and 2nd Street, and out west, I-235 and Zoo. This is what you're going to be waking up to and traveling through. So I'd plan on an extra 5 or 10 minutes. It's going to be slower than normal. Again, this is a big event. Most of our viewing area is under that dense fog advisory. Goes until noon today. Many locations you can see at or under a quarter-mile visibility. So that's going to slow you down. Now, the fog is going to start to lift out west. A couple of raindrops and snowflakes in northwest Kansas briefly this morning. Otherwise, we'll start to get some sunshine back. 48 today in Scott City, 49 Garden City. Dodge City is up to 53. Thick fog, some drizzle this morning across most of central and eastern Kansas. We're not going to get any sunshine, but the fog should start to lift a little bit later on today. Temperatures, though, cooling off. Salina 49, Marion 48, but we're in the 50s as we head towards Medicine Lodge and Winfield. Again, thick fog, the advisory through noon. Please travel with care. Otherwise, light winds throughout the day. Temperatures this afternoon ranging from 50 in Newton to 54 in Wellington. Salina, you've got another chance of rain coming in tonight. Just a couple of rain showers. Otherwise, look what happens into your weekend. Sunday's my pick day, 62, but also not much wind on Sunday. We head out to southwest Kansas. Even warmer conditions expected this weekend. 64 and 67. Could see a few spots they'll get to 70, and then we are going to cool off next week. I don't think we're looking at Arctic air next week, but northwest Kansas, you're down to 38 by Wednesday. But enjoy your weekend. Mid-60s in Colby and Goodland on both Saturday and Sunday.
This morning, 12 News continues to follow the plane crash in Washington, D.C. This morning, we are awaiting more information from national and local officials about a plane from Wichita that crashed into the Potomac River after a collision with a helicopter. We just learned within the last 15 minutes 30 bodies have been recovered from the river after a plane that left Wichita crash. We do know 64 people were aboard that plane. So far, first responders have not found any survivors. We'll be right back.